As of now, your LLC and your U.S. company does not need to file the BOI report. FinCEN still has it suspended by the court order, and we have no new updates as of January, mid-January when I'm recording this video. But that does not mean you have nothing to do for your U.S. company. In this video, I'm going to explain the IRS forms you have to complete, the due dates, and what you really need to have ready to get those forms completed. And I'm going to jump right into it with the individual tax filing. So if you're an American and you live in the US, you have to file Form 1040, Form 1040 by April 15th. And if you're an American living outside the US, you generally have an extra 2 months to file the form until June 15th. You should definitely double check on that though and file as soon as you can so that you get your taxes paid on time. Now, if you're a non-resident and you're a foreign person and you maybe did some work in the US, you have US real estate, and you have to file a tax return for some reason, your Form 1040-NR, that's the form you would complete, Form 1040-NR for non-resident, would be due on June 15th. And again, that's just to report your U.S. activity. There's more questions and more information to be filled out, but I don't generally complete that form for clients who aren't reporting income or have activities in the U.S. We don't just file this for no reason. We only file it when it's actually required. When we skip down to the next requirement, we're talking about LLCs, limited liability companies. I talk about them a lot on this channel. A lot of people open up LLCs. It's so easy to open them up, and they're so useful in helping you grow your business. Now, what do you have to file each year with the IRS to stay compliant? If you're an American and you just have an LLC, like if I just open an LLC, I actually don't have a tax return to file for my LLC. I just have to include my business income and expenses on my Schedule C attached to my Form 1040. Now, for most of my clients, you are people who live outside the US, like Juan from Portugal. He has to file a pro forma Form 1120 with a 5472. Now, I encourage you guys to subscribe. I'm probably going to go live and prepare some of these forms live for you guys to show you exactly how to do it. I used to sell a course. I might still sell it. It's probably on the school group. So if you click on the link below, you can join our school group, and the courses should be in there. So that you can watch the old videos I recorded on how to complete these forms. I used to sell them, and I think they're free on the school group. I'd love to have you join and contribute and talk to people on there. It's really helpful. And also subscribe to the channel, because I'm probably going to post more videos here exactly on how to complete those forms, because they're very simple, and you fax them to the IRS, and they're not filed electronically. And that's for a foreign-owned single-member LLC, and it's a pro forma 1120, no numbers on the first page, please. And then you're just reporting your related party transactions. So on this filing, you're just reporting how much you paid to open the company, how much you paid to close the company, how much you contributed to the company or distributed from the company, how much you paid yourself, or how much you paid or received from related parties, so other companies that you may own. A weird form where we're not reporting income or expenses, we're just reporting this stuff, and it's only required when there's a foreign owner and it's the only one owner, a foreign-owned single-member LLC, right? So let's move to the next one, because I want to keep this video humming for you guys to give you all the information. So if there's two owners to an LLC, that means that there is Juan and Juanita, both are 50-50 owners of this LLC. Now they have a partnership for U.S. tax purposes, whether they're two Americans or they're two foreign people. It does make a difference if there's an American and a foreign person. There's potentially taxes that need to be withheld, but generally you have to file a Form 1065, and you have to report on the front your income, your expenses. You have to split it up by partner. You have to file a K1, a K2, a K3. You have to have a balance sheet depending on how much sales you had. And potentially, if you have U.S. and foreign partners, you have to withhold taxes on Form 8804 and 8805 and 8813. And it gets quite complicated. The main form is Form 1065, and this is whether you're American or foreign. It doesn't matter. If there's more than one owner of an LLC, or if you have an LP or a partnership, you're filing a 1065 form. The Form 1065 is due on March 15th, and this generally would be required to be filed electronically. You can complete it and mail it. If you do it wrong, they're going to give you penalties. It's quite complicated to assemble it and do it like that. We, of course, do this for clients. There might be softwares online where you can do it yourself, but we're doing it for clients and trying to make it as easy as possible for them. So this one is a little bit more complicated when there's multiple owners. But the benefit of this is that you can present yourself as a U.S. person and give W-9s to people, and that might be easier to get work. And I'm going to make another video after this one about 1099s and W-9s and that stuff. So that's if you have a multi-member LLC. Now, the last kind of setup that we commonly see is with a corporation or an LLC that files an 8832 election and elects to file taxes as a corporation. So a corporation files a Form 1120-1120 and reports all income, all expenses, the balance sheet, and actually pays a tax at 21% federal income tax on the profits generated. So the Form 1120 is due on April 15th. This 1120 form, we have to include everything, and you actually do have to pay taxes on it. If you're going to pay taxes, you have to pay them at eftps.gov. On the federal system, it's complicated. It's more annoying than it should be to pay taxes. It's already annoying to pay taxes, but when it's hard to functionally go on and actually make the payment, it's even more annoying, right? So yeah, those taxes are due on April 15th when the forms are due. For every single one of these forms, you can file an extension and get an automatic 6 months to file. So for the individual returns, it's a Form 4868. And for all of the business returns, the 5472, the 1120s, the 1065s, that's due on Form 7004. And I have other videos showing you how to complete those forms. They're pretty straightforward. They're one page, and they're not hard to complete. The LLC is disregarded for tax purposes. So if you are an American and you're living in the US, all the income from your LLC, whether it's single member or multi-member, that's coming through and going to be reportable on your personal tax return. If you're a foreign person, you have no business in the US, which is a lot of my viewers are like that. There's Bobby from India and Sally from Nepal have this business, and they do digital marketing, and they both they share the business. They file 1065. They each get a K1. But since they do no business in the U.S. and they're performing services, they don't have to pay income taxes on that. So we wouldn't file a 1040-NR for them. So just like a quick note, if you're in the U.S. and you're an American, you have to put them all of the results from your LLCs and your personal taxes. But if you're foreign, you generally wouldn't pay taxes on services performed abroad. I have other videos talking about like why you don't pay taxes. I'm not going to go into that too much here. I'm just going to talk about tax forms and tax requirements and tax filings. We talked about the main tax forms. Like if you're an American, you can also make an election to be an S corporation. That's also due on March 15th. That's a Form 1120S, but that can't be owned by a foreign person. A foreign person can't have an S corporation. And that is also passed through. That's one other one that's very common. That's like for the IRS filings. That's the IRS income tax filings. Now we have IRS informational filings, Forms 1099 and 1099 MISC and 1099 NEC. I'm going to make a dedicated video for that next. I'm filming that next. But if you have a U.S. business, a multi-member LLC or an LLC, and you're paying people in the U.S., you should be issuing Forms 1099. Now, this is something that's a bit vague, and I'm still researching. I have 20 tabs open right now. I'm in my research software. I'm going to make a longer video for that that's more technically inclined with screen sharing and teaching. But that's something you need to look into if you need to file Forms 1099. And those are actually due on January 31st at the end of the month. Those are pretty tight. I should have made a video earlier about that, but I've been busy making it now. So if you need help with the tax returns or the 1099s, you can definitely reach out to us or schedule a free call. We can look into it. The penalties are not as big for filing the 1099s late, depending on how many you're filing. And then the last thing that I want to say that you need to do to keep your LLC in good standing is that you need to renew it with the state. So if you have a Wyoming LLC, every calendar year, if you opened it in November, you have to renew it in the next November with the registered agent. If you open a Delaware company, then your Delaware LLC is, I think it's June 1st. You have to do the renewal before June 1st. If you have a Delaware corporation, it's before March 1st. And if you have a Florida company, then I believe that's May 1st. So you definitely need to talk to your registered agent, whoever you're working with, and get your company renewed on time. And don't forget to make that payment. Those are the things you have to do. Remember, it's income tax filings, and I said the dates, 1040s, 1040-NR, 5472s, 1120s, 1065s. Then we have the Forms 1099. Informational filings potentially might apply if you're paying Americans or U.S. people. And then at the end, we have the renewals with the state. Your state renewal is the same company you've been paying. You paid to open your LLC. You should be paying them again to renew the LLC. If you need help filing any of these forms, of course, you can schedule a free call and reach out to my team. That's what we're here. That's what we're doing. We have a lot of clients we're helping with this stuff. If you can't get bank accounts open, schedule a free call because we also have a lot of contacts at banks in the U.S. Without having to travel, we can help you get bank accounts open in a number of different situations. And If you want to open the LLC and do the whole process with us, get a unique business address and do everything, I'd love to work with you on that too. So comment below if I missed something, if you have any questions, if I missed your form type, and I'm happy to respond as quickly as possible, okay? So thanks for being here, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.